Hello everyone and welcome to the 100 subscribers event of Draw My Life. So this time I will draw you my life, even though I didn't live long enough for any fairy tale or novel inspiring events. I still hope you enjoyed this little thing I did for you. I'm sorry it took so long, but I think it's alright and it turned out okay. So hope you enjoy it. First of all, I was born on the 9th September of 1997, and I was born actually not in my home country, my home Germany, like where I'm living right now, but I was born in Russian, and this is where I spent the first couple of my years. I was born actually in the far east of it, and it was a rather village. It was more like a little village. You can call it like that. Even though it was in the middle of a city, but compared to other cities, yeah, this is where I was born. uh, in my first 2 years, when I actually became 2 years old, we decided to move from Mother Russian to my home Germany because we wanted to have a better life, and this is what we decided then, to move from our one-room apartment to a better four-room apartment later on. During the time, my mother and father had to quit their jobs and their studying, and when we moved here in Germany, they actually started it again. My mother started to take on her studies, and my father found himself a job, and both of them spent their time during this the whole day. And because they themselves didn't had enough time for me, I had to be put for the whole day into kindergarten. Yeah, during the kindergarten, I was a really and truly crybaby who was always kinda unsatisfied, who always initiated some kinda problems, who always blamed other people for my faults, for my mistakes, and this is how I was as a young child during my early childhood. Uh, it was probably because I was pretty unhappy to be the whole time in the kindergarten because, yeah, my parents always kind of had time for me when we lived in Russia, but when we moved here, we didn't had much time for me that they could spare for me. So yeah, this is the kind of child I was. I was also pretty selfish because I was a child, and this is how I was during the time. And I can't help myself when I think about it right now what kind of person I was. But yeah. But at home it was pretty much different when we were finally at home. I was a child with a wide imagination, and I really loved to entertain myself more than with other children my age. And I had a lot of plushies and dolls in my room for this, because I always loved to talk with myself, like I talk to to pretend that I'm talking with my plushies and dolls. And this is how I entertain myself the whole time. My parents, of course, didn't really agree that I should spend my time like that, and this is why they put me to ballet during my young age, during my early age, so I could spend more time with girls in my age. I'm just repeating myself right now. Yeah. And I did it for a couple of years until I got tired of it and told my parents I don't want to. In addition to that, I did a course in writing and reading in Russian, so I won't forget my own like mother language. And I did both of it for a couple of years then. During the time, I actually was able to make at least one friend. And even though I don't really am in contact with her right now, she was my first friend. So yeah, it was worth it in some way. In the second grade when I actually became a big sister, Yeah, this is my little sister that I'm drawing right now, and she didn't want me to draw her as a baby, so I draw her how she is right now. A proud 10-year-old little girl. And yeah, and when she was born, after some time, we moved from our apartment to a house with more space in it. And because of that, during the third grade then, I decided to convince my parents to take ourselves a little kid. A cat. Because I really wanted one, and I didn't stop until I convinced them, because all of my family members, relatives, and friends had some kind of pet, and after some thinking, I decided on a cat. And we still have her today. You still sometimes hear both my cat and my sister in my recordings. In the fifth grade, when we had the actual time where I changed schools with new people and everything was different. And the time was when we actually made real groups, because we didn't play with the whole class anymore. We had groups. And I found myself a nice little group of three other girls. We shared the same interests and we could get along well. So this is why we spent much time together during the time, and it was a lot of fun. It was for me a pretty new experience because it was a completely new school, and I was really glad to find some people who I could spend my breaks with and work with during lessons. And it was a lot of fun. But the fun didn't really kept long, because after some time in the middle of the fifth grade, one of the girls actually started to try to like to bully me. She wanted me to separate me from everyone else, and ignored me, took me away from my friends, and always excluded me from our group. And I didn't understand why, and even though I wanted to confront her, she ignored me and didn't want to talk with me about it. The other two girls didn't really pay much attention, they just ignored the thing and didn't really talk to me either after some time. And doing this, I was pretty hurt, and the whole thing was I didn't even know what I did wrong, and they never told me. So yeah, this is during the fifth grade then. In the fifth grade, also continued in the sixth grade then, because during this time I was then completely alone. I kept myself company with books from the library, where I spent time reading them during my breaks, and I had problems in lesson too with teamwork and work with partners especially, and it was pretty horrible. And yeah, other kids, especially kids from not even my own class, started to whisper and talk about me behind my back. And the thing was, not even the teachers helped me during the time, and I couldn't really talk with my parents about, because I didn't know what was wrong when no one told me. And it was not like they were hurting me or anything, but I was only excluded, and I thought maybe it was my fault. So yeah, this is the time I spent during my fifth and sixth grade. And I can tell you guys for sure that during these 2 years, I can say full truthfully, these were the two worst years of my school life. So then it continued in the seventh grade that I got more you can tell, even addicted to the computer, because I learned that media and technology is awesome, and I first of all tried the computer to entertain myself with for the very first time after a couple of years, not just books. And then I got I got in into the world of the computers. I learned so much new things that I didn't know that I actually could do in the computer. For example, MMORPGs, games, YouTube Let's Plays, videos, animes, mangas, movies, everything that I always kind of wanted to do but never knew how, or how other people could do that, and I thought maybe it was something special. And after I learned how to do that, I was really happy and very delighted that I spent a lot of time on it. Yeah, on the 8th grade when I started with animations. Yeah, I even made my really own series for the very first time. I just love the way that you can use anime, like anime style characters for animating. Like they were there and you just needed to move them. Just even though it took some time, I really enjoyed it and I'm actually still doing it. And yeah, so I learned that this was actually my thing. And when YouTube started for me, like, because I started with animations, I thought maybe I will just upload them, and this is exactly what I'm doing right now, even though I'm not very far, and I once had a channel before, but this is the time when I started in YouTube, and in the 10th grade when I started my very first recording of a Let's Play, you can just tell I had my little laptop, I had the worst quality ever, and I was in the worst possible condition. Like it was so weird for me to talk, especially in English, and I was so nervous. But I still wanted to do that because I kind of like, through all the years, I was kind of really agitated to do something myself because I knew somehow it's possible, and I just had to try to do that. And yeah, so this is how I started my first Let's Play. I think you can even tell from the first playthrough how it went. So yeah. But when I first got my comments, likes and views, I actually was very nervous because I thought, oh my god, is it like people would talk shit about me or something like that? Because quality, everything, my nervousness and just stuff like that just kind of bothered me, and I thought no way it will work out. But when I just figured out the views, the comments, the likes, it was very positive, and I was pretty surprised about that. But in the end, guys, it made me just absolutely happy, and it was the first time I felt something like that towards these kind of things, like for myself, and I first of all could understand how the other people who make videos feel like, and it was really it was a really amazing feeling, and I'm still feeling it right now whenever I see just a view, a comment, a like from you, from just each and every one of you. It just makes me completely overwhelmed with these feelings. And yeah, and because of these many feelings and new opportunities, I decided to change my style a little bit, especially now in high school. In my last couple years in school, I tried to do and motivated myself, got a little more self-confidence, especially because of the channel. This is why I thought, let's just try and talk to some people. Like people I knew from my previous class who were kind of nice to me, and this is when I first like tried to not introduce, but to greet them, and everyone was really like, they were really surprised about that. But in the end, it actually worked out. I made a couple of friends, and even though I still kind of like can't you get used to stuff like making smiles and stuff, and friends even notice that and tell me not to force myself, I just can't help this. But I'm still doing my best, and right now, guys, in my currently last couple of months in school, like, okay, till summer, I'm still studying a lot. I have a couple of really good friends, a little group for myself, and I'm really happy in there. Especially now with the channel, I'm kind of really sad that I couldn't get myself like more time on the channel, and I really can't do more videos because it takes a lot of time, especially now. But I really wanted to do this event. I didn't want to upload any videos before I finished this, just to make it fair for every one of you, even though it's kind of late. And it was just, it took us so much time. I think a couple of months, but I really wanted to do this for you because it's our event. It's our 100 subscribers event, and how often do you get 100 subscribers? And this is exactly when I thought I had to do this for you, for myself, for everything, like for the whole channel that gave me so much. And this is just how I felt, and this is why I was motivated to do this video for you all. So in the end, I all want to thank you again for watching this. I hope you enjoyed this little drama live from me. I'm not the very best at doing it, and then probably not do it for like really good, but thank you all again for everything you did for me. Thank you.